I'm going to share with you 5 small gear fails that can completely wreck your backpacking trip and make your experience miserable. I've had all of these happen where I went out thinking, oh, no problem, I've got this in hand, and come back home, still alive, but wow, that was a mistake. Number 1, wear double layer socks. I cannot emphasize this enough. Your feet are everything. You can survive a lot of stuff in misery and backpacking, but if your feet are torn up from blisters because you only wore 1 pair of socks, even if they're Smart Wools or Darn Toughs or whatever, that single layer sock rubbing on your skin will eventually tear up your feet. And as a consequence, you will develop a blister and maybe multiple blisters and have a huge sore spot where it feels like you're, well, walking on broken glass the entire way. I don't want to have this happen to you because I've done it. I think, oh, no problem. It's a short trip. Just wear a single pair of socks. It's a little bit warm. Oh, what a mistake. I've gone to wearing Right socks, a W-R-I-G-H-T sock, and then Smart Wools after that, because the Right socks are actually 2 layers. So by the time I stack up my socks, it's actually 3 layers. That makes my feet a little bit warmer, but I virtually never have problems with blisters, so that makes a lot of difference in my experience in the outdoors. And tip number 2, carry duct tape for small repairs. Now you might say, Aaron, you're out adventuring, you've got these sleds, backpacks, I don't want to carry a big roll of duct tape. Aha. So maybe you have trekking poles, right? Let's just say you have trekking poles. What you can do is peel off some duct tape, wrap it around your trekking pole and create a nice little spool so your duct tape is always with you. You're not dealing with this big old honking roll of duct tape and all the added weight, but you often need just a little bit of gear. Bonus pointer, check out Gorilla Tape. Regular duct tape is not actually that great, even though people use it. In cold temperatures or wet weather, duct tape, like regular duct tape, meh, not that great. And it's totally failed me at minus 20 degrees or minus 28 degrees Celsius and below. But Gorilla Tape, I'm not sponsored by Gorilla Tape, but Gorilla Tape has saved my bacon so many times. That stuff, and one lady at Ace Hardware said, duct tape sucks, but Gorilla Tape, that thing will stick an Oldsmobile to the wall. Oh my gosh, it's super hilarious. The third tip is using Ziploc bags to contain all of your small gear and items. I've read a lot of people talking about some of the reviews that I've done on backpacking gear that I have bought and used, and one of the big complaints is, oh, my small gear filters down and it floats around and I lose it. Don't set yourself up for suffering. Ziploc, it doesn't have to be the Ziploc brand because they actually have some issues lately about how they design and do sealing, but the knockoff store brand or whatever, just don't get the ultra cheap, ultra thin ones. Even the great long distance hiker Andrew Skirka, I remember reading on his blog, and he posted, hey, does anybody know where to get some better Ziploc bags? Mine are falling apart. Don't go cheap, but definitely test them out at home. And this will contain all of your small items so you don't lose stuff on the trail. I've lost stuff, it sucked. Speaking of having suck on a trail, check out my book, How to Keep Your Feet Warm in the Cold. It is chock full of advice, over 100 tips of how to keep your feet, these things, warm in the coldest conditions so you can enjoy your backpacking and camping experience in the outdoors. Tip number 4, don't backpack without some sort of headlamp and backup batteries. Virtually everybody brings some sort of light. Usually a headlamp is, some bring their lantern. A lot of people rely on their phone until their phone dies. But let's just assume you brought a headlamp. Just don't forget spare batteries. I've done it. I was like, oh yeah, my headlamp is charged up. No problem. I've got a single set of batteries in there. They're fresh. I go out and I've literally had 1 cell battery die. Like in a 3 AAA battery set up in a headlamp, one of the cells died. I don't know what happened, but it just did. The consequence was I'm in the dark. So I'm there with my phone, I've got my little keychain flashlight as my backup. That really sucked. So make sure you bring a full set of spare batteries. My recommendation is those Energizer Lithium Ultimates or Ultras or whatever they're marketed as now. Those are the best, but they last and work. Number 5, make sure to test your stove and all of your gear at home before you leave. I've made the mistake once, twice, almost 3 times where I failed to test my stove a month before I went camping. They had no problem, and then the stove didn't work. It was clogged up. I don't know, maybe gremlins got into my gear room and then put carbon into, I have no clue. I've made the mistakes. It just happens. So by following these 5 tips, you too can avoid the mistakes I've made